What do you think about people saying this is the laziest generation?
I think that's a matter of opinion because honestly, I don't see that many people nowadays just not doing anything at all. I see people attempting to get advantage over others and trying to basically compensate for their disabilities. And a lot of people are more outspoken now than they ever were before.
Do you think this is the laziest generation?
Honestly, if I had to say what was the laziest generation, I couldn't give you an honest opinion because there's just too many people and too wide of a range for me to actually dictate which one is the laziest.
So basically what you're saying is that like it's kind of hard to dictate which generation, like the generation before us and then our generation, to say which one is the laziest.
Yeah, I just feel like there's an entire pool of people who are lazy, and it's not just based off age, it's also based off motivations.
So why do you think people think that we're the laziest generation?
Probably because they just want somebody to pin the blame on.
So you think that like they don't want to say they're the laziest generation, they want to put it on another generation?
I mean, it's easier just to blame others for your problems than have to take advantage and take responsibility of it.
What do you think about people being saying this is the laziest generation?
Saying this is the laziest generation?
Yeah.
Well, there's a bit of a truth, there's a bit of a lie with that. I mean, I do have my cousins in Louisville who have their own lawn mowing business where they go out every Saturday, mow lawns for like 7 or 8 hours. They get up early, so it's pretty much a job. I know a lot of people who have jobs, or at least look for them. But then you're gonna have some people in each generation, regardless, who just don't like want to do anything.
Do you think this is the laziest generation?
I'm gonna say no,
Why?
because there's probably lazy people in every generation.
Why do you think people say we're the laziest generation?
Just because we're kids and we have like technology and we don't have to do as much as people used to have to do back then. Like, I mean, if you're gonna apply for a job, you can do it online, which would just really instantaneous. But then if you do it like in person, that just takes a little more time. So I think technology is a big part of like why people think we specifically are lazy.
You're saying that we use it as a crutch and that we don't like try and go out and do stuff ourselves, try and like...
Yeah, I think that's what people do try to say, but it's not really as close to the truth as...
You think pretty active as a generation?
Yeah, I would say we were pretty active just with anything in this generation, because, I mean, I've noticed with this generation, there are so many kids who are just political. Like,
Yeah.
if you look on Twitter, or, like, even in schools, like, people will have, like, buttons on their backpacks, or, like, they'll be out in, like, marches or whatever. And, I mean, we do have those, like, student rallies every now and then where it's, like, people will organize rallies against, like, gun violence or something.
So, what do you think about people saying this is the laziest generation?
Honestly, it's viewed as that, but we just do more with technology, and that's why people say we're lazy.
Do you think we're the laziest generation?
I think we do more because of technology. I think we've kind of just gotten better. I guess some jobs aren't jobs anymore because of technology, and that's just because we moved on from that.
So you think that technology doesn't make us lazier, it kind of makes us better?
Yeah, it makes things a lot more efficient and fast, and
So why do you think people say we're the laziest generation? Because of technology?
yeah, I think because there's so much technology and they did so much work to get to where they got. They're just like, oh, you did it so easily. You haven't seen the worst or whatever. Like,
So they're saying like how we grew up and how much easier it is for us. We don't have to work as hard. They're saying we're lazier than them.
because technology has taken a lot of the work away that they had to do themselves.
What do you think about people saying that we're the laziest generation?
I kind of agree with it because a lot of people in this society today is pretty lazy.
So you do agree that we're the laziest generation. Why?
I somewhat agree Because if you think about it, a lot of people nowadays don't really go outside, and they just stay inside and play video games, eat junk food.
So you see that as why other people say we're the laziest generation because we play video games all the time, we eat junk food, we don't do as much as them?
I don't think we're the laziest generation. I think the generation coming up is pretty lazy.
I think the generation coming up is pretty lazy.
Yeah.
What do you think about people saying we're the laziest generation, or Gen Z is?
I don't think that they're right, but I don't think that they're wrong. Me and you both know we could be lazy. That's just facts. I mean, everybody's lazy. You know, your parents tell you to wash the dishes when you just get home from school. No, I don't want to do
I mean,
that.
my mom's rarely home when I come from school, so.
Oh, rip. Well, would you want to do dishes when you get home? Would you want to clean up the house when you get home from band practice?
No.
I mean, you just want to go home and sleep, and you know what they call that?
What?
Being lazy.
Do you think we are the laziest generation? Why or why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, we are, dude. Like generation. When you say generation, are you talking about just
The generation as a total, Gen Z as a total, everyone in.
so? You know, America's already been classified as like one of the laziest countries. You know, we're hard workers, but we're not working bees. You know, there's people that work way harder than us, and you know, I know when I go home, I don't want to do anything. I just want to be lazy. I just want to play Fortnite all day. You know, everybody does. I mean, it's not so much as being lazy. It's just so much as like, there's people who are lazy, but there's people who are like tired. If that makes sense. There's a difference. You know, if you want to go home from a long day at school and go to sleep, it's not being lazy. If you don't do anything all day and you sit around and eat chips and watch TV, that's being lazy and don't do anything. That's being lazy.
So why do you think the older generation looks at us as more lazy than them, even though they had the same struggles as us and they did somewhat the same thing?
Because they think they have more. They think they've got more experience than us. Like, you think just because you're older means that you're some kind of mythological beast or something? No, that's not how that works. You don't know. You were lazy too when you were 14, 15. You're trying to tell me these, because I know they're out there working on the farms all day, raising the horses and the cattle, you know, getting them some beef and crops. You trying to tell me they didn't go in that farmhouse and they didn't sit down and watch TV not for 10 minutes without doing some crops? You kidding me? You kidding me, son? It just don't make no sense. They are more lazier than the laziest persons can even get. Just lazy. Just pure lazy.